Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Harry's Hot Rod Garage. Today we're with Tommy Reitler. How you doing, Tom?
Good, Harry. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for sharing your time.
Pleasure.
And showing us your shop. He's a premier restoration shop in Upper Deerfield, New Jersey. And we're going to take a walk and check it out, okay? Come on in. Okay, Tom, what do we got here?
So this is a 67 Malibu that's owned by a gentleman up in Burlington that he brought to me, I guess it's 2 years ago now, to do a restoration on this car. We started by doing all the disassembly on it, did all the sheet metal work. This car has pretty much every single panel you can buy is brand new on this. After that, we sent it out, had it blasted. He took the frame home, built the frame himself, installed the engine and trans and all that stuff in it. Then I brought it back here, put epoxy primer on it after I got sandblasted, put everything back together, gapped all the panels, did all the body work, blocked it, and now it's just about ready to go out for paint.
That's great.
He has to pick a color though. And I just got done shooting the trunk spatter in it this morning. I have my own little special treatment that I give it that's not much like anybody else does.
Well, I'm sure this is going to be beauty when it's done. What kind of engine you have in there?
It's a 496 with a Y ratio M23Z 4-speed transmission.
Well, he's not fooling around, that's for sure. He really looks good. Let me just walk around and show me what you did in the trunk. Maybe if you get it painted, we can come back and see it.
Sure. The car should be painted within a couple of weeks.
Oh, that'd be
He
nice.
does have to pick a color for it, though. I'm waiting for a couple spray out cards.
That's one of the hardest things to do.
Yes.
Pick the color, you know.
So I just sprayed the trunk in this car this morning, and this is my own mix of materials that I do in here. It's a 3-step process. It gets sealed with epoxy primer first, and then it's a base coat color, reduced 1-to-1 with an activator, and then the trunk spatter is a custom mix that also gets sprayed out of a gun. Now, I'm not going to divulge how I do it because that's kind of like a little trade secret.
Sure.
But this is a permanent solution, whereas a lot of the stuff that you can buy over the counter with spray, the spray cans and the aerosols like from Eastwood, they're water soluble. Even if you clear coat them like they say you're supposed to, if water touches it and gets through, it just makes a mess out of it. This will be hard as a rock when it dries.
Well, it looks like it's brand new. It looks beautiful. Well, that's great. It really looks good. All ready for paint. Here we have a 68 Chevelle. Beautiful. Is this called butternut yellow? Or?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I wasn't sure because I know it had a lot of different names for some of the different colors. Beautiful car.
All right, so this 68 Chevelle came in. It had a little incident with a deer a couple months ago, and so kind of took a little damage to the header and the grille and the headlight bezels and stuff. So right now we're just kind of finalizing everything, and we're going to do a little bit of touch-up work to it, and then hopefully get it back to the owner next week.
Oh, that's great. It's a pretty car. Here's a 1970 Chevelle SS Autumn Gold convertible. Just take a little quick walk around on this beautiful car. That paint is absolutely beautiful. Okay, we're going to let Tommy tell us about this car. Okay, Tom, tell us about your Chevelle.
All right, so I bought this car in October of 2005 after getting an email from a friend of mine down in Maryland that a 70 Chevelle convertible popped up in a local car club newsletter for sale. So, long story short, I called the guy that had it and told him that I would be down there Saturday morning to pick it up. So I went down there with cash in a trailer and basically winched it out of a swamp in Stevensville, Maryland. And then I didn't have time to do it because I was working on my 69 Charger at the time. Every time I find a car I want, I'm already restoring one. So I finished the Charger and let this sit and just collected parts for it over the next several years because some of the things I needed to fix it were not available yet, but I knew they were going to become available. So in November of 2010, I pulled this car into my pole barn and started taking it apart, seeing how bad it really was, and proceeded just to start replacing sheet metal one by one. This is probably the most extensive car I had done to date at the time. This car, basically every piece of sheet metal on this car except for the firewall, the fender extensions, and the grille has been replaced.
Oh my goodness.
I cut this car in half to put a floor in it. I had to cut the entire cowl section off of it. And then, just over the course of time, I put it together. I did all the body work on this car. A friend of mine from Indiana flew in to paint it. And then I put it together and basically did this car as an LS6 4-speed convertible clone. This is not a real LS6 car. So I don't want anybody to think that it's something that's not. And this car is also the one that propelled me into having my own shop here. So it's all dressed as a correct LS6 car. It does have some correct parts on it. It has an original carburetor, an original intake. The alternator is not. The smog pump is. It has correct pulleys on it and brackets. The engine itself is a later model truck motor from like the mid 1980s. So, that's basically the only thing on it that's not quote unquote correct. Original master cylinder, original booster, original wiper motor, original radiator top plate, which is specific for the 4-row radiators for the heavy duty cooling option. It is a 331 geared 12 bolt that's in it. So this is the heavy duty cooling's optional in that car versus a 410 where it's standard.
Okay.
And then, like I said, everything's been detailed, replated properly, and all that good stuff.
Well, it looks great. I'll tell you that. It's wonderful. Okay, Tom, what do we got on top of the lift here?
So that is a reproduction body for a Chevy Series 1 Cobra, which is it's one of the CSX continuation series cars from Ford.
Is the rest of the car someplace in here?
Yes, it is.
Can we go look at it?
We absolutely can.
Okay. Okay, Tom, tell us about the Shelby Cobra.
So this is a continuation series CSX 5000 Cobra. It is from Ford, and it's one of 10 produced. So there's only 10 of these in the world right now, and we are building this car with intentions to put it on the market potentially by the end of this year.
Great. Let's check out this motor and tell me about it. I mean, everything looks so heavy duty, this frame. You can tell it's not a kit.
So all of this suspension and everything, this is custom designed by Wingard Motorsports or F2 Roadsters down in Maryland. That's his own creation for all that stuff. The engine is a 408 stroker based off a 351 Windsor. It's all roller cam and everything in it. It will have Holley Sniper fuel injection on it. It's backed by a Tremec TKX 5-speed transmission from Silver Sport Transmissions, and it will have a independent rear suspension with a differential from a 2019 Mustang.
Oh boy.
All the suspension on this is all C4 Corvette type stuff.
Oh, okay. Just look at the rear end here. Can't wait to see this thing put together. It's going to be great. And like you said, it will be going on the market for sale when it's done. Okay, gang, we have a 1971 Chevelle. The color is Placer Gold. Tell us a little bit about it, Tom.
So the gentleman that owns this car, he's had this car for quite some time, and we actually painted this car here after John Truman got done doing the body work on it. He wanted me to assemble the car for him, so I didn't have time at the time we painted this car, but I just had him leave it here, and I kind of chipped away at it as I had time in between some other projects I was trying to wrap up. So now that all that other stuff is finished, I'm ready to get on this thing and get it done for him.
That's great. Tell us about it. Is it like the engine and
so it has
trans?
It has a 572 cubic inch crate motor in it.
Holy moly.
We are putting Holley fuel injection on it. It has a turbo 400, a 9-inch Ford rear under it, Lemons headers, 3-inch exhaust all the way out. There's some custom touches under the hood here with the smooth firewall and
yeah, it looks so good, doesn't
body
it?
color. I put classic auto air AC in it. The box is mounted. I have to make up the hoses. It's getting Dakota digital gauges in it. The dash is built on my bench now, so I'm ready to put that in. So the headliner just got put in last Monday.
Oh, cool.
I'm ready to start finishing the wiring and get this thing wrapped up for him.
I noticed it has an air gap intake. Will that fit under this hood, or is the scoop a little higher than normal?
No, it's, believe it or not,
factory?
It's yes. So the motor itself is a tall deck.
Oh,
but
okay.
because we're not putting the Cal induction air cleaner on it, we have room for an air cleaner to sit where the drop base and then just fit just under the
Oh,
hood.
that's good. I think that's such a good invention, the air gap. It's got to keep things, gas from cooking and everything else.
It
and
helps
it cool.
atomize the fuel a lot better too.
Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed our trip to Tom Reitler's restoration shop. I was very impressed. He does some really nice work. Stay tuned for some good episodes coming up this week, and I just want to reach out to Tom and say thank you very much. I know you have a very busy schedule, and as we could see, you had a lot of work to do, and you took your time to share everything with us. So I thank you again for that. And remember, thank a veteran today. Give me a thumbs up and smash that like button, will you?